Welcome back. Now, Chelsea travel to PSG on Wednesday in the first leg of their Champions League last 16 tie in what will be, of course, a repeat of the Club World Cup final, which saw Chelsea win 3-0. As you can see, our chief reporter, Kaveh Solakal, has joined myself and Clinton. Kaveh, really good to see you. You spent the whole summer covering the Club World Cup. I mean, how much confidence can Chelsea take from that? I know it was a little while ago, but into the game this week.
I mean, that final was an exceptional performance from Chelsea. And remember, they were the underdogs. They were big underdogs, but they absolutely blew PSG away. Cole Palmer was brilliant. They were 3-0 up at half-time, and PSG really didn't know what had hit them. I think Enzo Maresca really outwitted Luis Enrique tactically, and his tactics basically were for Chelsea to play in PSG's faces from the get-go. They were at 100% maximum capacity in PSG's faces, and it really unnerved and unsettled PSG, so much so that by the end of the game, PSG were losing their heads. They had a player, João Neves, sent off for pulling Marc Cucurella's hair. Luis Enrique got involved in a bust-up with Robert Sanchez after the final whistle. So it was a brilliant performance by Chelsea, but I'm not sure they can replicate that kind of performance again, especially because this is a two-legged tie.
How do you see it going, Clinton?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Everyone says PSG haven't been in good form, so Chelsea should fancy their chances. I don't think it's the same PSG that we saw winning the Champions League last season. I think they're a different team. Found it probably difficult to qualify in the end and needed a big result, but I think Chelsea are in good form. It's a close one, but I think Chelsea could just take this. I actually do, and I know because PSG are the champions and stuff, have got outstanding players, but I do think defensively, with the form that Chelsea's attacking players, they can cause them a lot of problems. So I'm going to go for Chelsea. I'm not no more sitting on the fence for Clinton. I'm just telling you how it is.
It's one of those shows, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Talking of those attacking players then, João Pedro with 18 goals this season. How impressed have you been with him? Oh,
he's outstanding. I think we had a debate, I said to Dave last week, about the best signing, and I went for Ekitike. And listen, slowly but surely, I think I'm starting to change my mind. Ekitike's been outstanding, but this João Pedro, he's the real deal. He is the truth in my eyes. He can do everything. Do I think he's a natural number 9? Probably not, but that's a natural number 9 kind of goal. But he can also drop into little areas where defenders don't want to go. This is a fantastic finish, and I just think he's a super player. He's an unbelievable player. When he was at Watford and then Brighton signed him, I think, could you go and make that adapt to the Premier League? I think he's been outstanding. I know Garnett lays it on a plate to him to score the perfect hat-trick. But what I like about him, he can drop deep, he can play as a number 9. And I think he's a sensational player. And he's only going to get better. He's only going to improve.
So young, isn't he?
So young, only going to improve. Big talent. If he's not in that Brazilian World Cup squad, wow. I'll have to call Carlo Ancelotti myself and say what's going on here, because he needs to be in that squad and probably starts as the main number 9 at the moment, because I rate him that highly. I think he's a top player.
Got Don Carlo's number, have you?
That's the only one I haven't got. I've got a lot of people, but where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, with you, no doubt. Right, let's bring Dave into the conversation. You've been having a closer look at João Pedro.
Yeah, he had a brilliant performance, didn't he, against Aston Villa last week in the Premier League. This is his Premier League record at the moment. Is João Pedro the answer to Chelsea's long-term search for a real goal-scoring number 9? 14 goals in 29 games. And what's interesting, really, is how his game has changed in the last few months. Firstly, let's set the context up for you. Chelsea's striker problem has been going on for years. We have got the top open play goal scorer numbers here for the last 7 seasons. Now, the blue columns that you're seeing, that is Chelsea's open play top scorer. And the red is the league high for that season. So, for example, rewind the clock to 2019-20. That was the last time a Chelsea player got 15 open play goals in a season. That was Tammy Abraham. He was 4 behind Jamie Vardy, the league high of 19. The following season, Abraham, Mason Mount and Timo Werner got 5 open play goals each. A million miles away, really, from the 18 scored by Harry Kane. Finding that goal-scoring number 9 has been a real issue, though, as we look throughout the last few seasons. The blue column's always underneath the red in every single season. And fast forward to this season, Chelsea may have now found their man in João Pedro. 11 open play goals this season, 14 actually in total. None of those are penalties. I mean, Erling Haaland's up there. Very difficult to beat him. But João Pedro, Could he beat Tammy Abraham's 15 before the season ends? Let's have a look at what has changed then in João Pedro's game. Since Liam Rosenior took over, there has been a difference. We've got his heat maps under Enzo Maresca and also under Liam Rosenior. Now, heat maps show us the on-ball activity of a player. The red signifies greater involvement in the game. So for the first half of the season under Maresca, floating around in that 10 position, sometimes used as a striker, but essentially dropping deep and linking the play much more. What about under Rosenior then? You can see the difference. Playing as a number 9 involved much higher up the pitch, including much more activity in this area, the penalty box. And his off-ball runs as well have transformed over the last couple of months. Coming short, this is the first one we're going to concentrate on. That is a player coming towards the ball, making themselves more available for a simple pass. And he's doing that less now under Rosenior, less coming short than he was under Maresca. And he's also making more cross-option runs. Now, if you're not sure what cross-option means, essentially when the ball is out wide, he's getting himself into the box, ready for that ball to be fired in. And he's also running in behind much more as well, under Liam Rosenior compared to Enzo Maresca, stretching that defence. So has he made the leap? Is João Pedro's Chelsea's long-term number 9? Clinton.
Is he
the man? Are you listening?
Of course I'm listening. I always listen to you. I always do. Of course I am. I was looking and thinking, are you going to say Liam Delap? But yeah, João Pedro, at the moment, I think, you know, the way you highlighted that, and it's really, really good how you highlight that, because under Maresca, I always used to think he was a number 10. He's proved to me recently, over the last month or so, that Liam's coming. He could either play as a 10 or the 9. Like you see his goal on the weekend in the FA Cup against Wrexham. He drops into the number 10. Great little turn. No one goes close. It's a brilliant finish. I do think he can be the number 9. The thing is no one plays like with a natural out-and-out number 9, probably apart from Man City, which is Haaland, who likes to stay up high, where he can drop into little pockets. Centre-halves don't know whether to come to get him or the holding midfielder. So he's a nightmare, and he's a talent. He's so strong. He doesn't look the biggest, but when it comes up to him, I've seen him having battles with the Arsenal centre-backs. He's the real deal. He can be the number 9. Good bit of work from you again, Dave. And I was listening. I'm always listening. Don't worry about that.
That is debatable, isn't it? All right, on the sort of flip side, I suppose, Liam Delap, it feels, has maybe struggled a little bit. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, it's been hard. It's difficult because he's probably not got the run of games that he's needed. Then he's picked up a lot of injuries. I still think Liam Delap will be a success, without a shadow of a doubt. I think he's a good young striker. It's difficult because I've said it many a times. As a centre forward, you need to get a run of games. You can't play one game and then come out of the team and then play another game. You need to get momentum. He's not getting momentum at the moment. I do think the run of injuries have not helped him, but I still think he's a threat. I saw it on the weekend where he assisted the Garnacho goal, which was evidently an own goal. I think he's improving because I never seen Liam do that before, where he wants to drop into holes and pick the ball up. So he is improving, but yeah, he's just panicking. And when you've not had the start that he's had at Chelsea, you know they paid money for you. You start worrying that you're at a big club and will your time move on? I think it will turn out good for him. At the moment, I think it is best. João Pedro's the 9. He comes on and makes impacts. Once he has that impact, he'll get more game time.
Do you think Chelsea are prepared to be patient?
I think certainly, because they got him on a really good deal as well, because he had this low release clause at Ipswich, and Chelsea have got this policy of signing young players and developing them. So they will give him a chance. They believe in him. Echoing what Clinton said, I think they just feel behind the scenes that he's been a little bit unlucky with injuries, and also because João Pedro has been playing so well, it means that he perhaps hasn't been getting as many chances as he has in the past. When I saw him for the first time in the Club World Cup last summer playing for Chelsea, he looked absolutely brilliant. I thought, wow, this guy really is the real deal. Chelsea have got a bargain. I know some Chelsea fans are a little bit frustrated with the way he's been playing, but I think the message from inside the club is, you've got to back him, trust him, just give him a little bit more time because he is very young.
Could Delap and João Pedro play together?
Yeah, they could, because João Pedro could drop into the number 10. The problem that they have there is Cole Palmer likes to play there. And if you move Cole Palmer to one of the wide areas, you've got Esteval or you've got Neto. So it's difficult. But it's good to have options because they're still in a few cup competitions. So it is good for Chelsea. I'm like Carve. I think Liam Delap, give him a bit of time and he will come good. And I hope he comes good because, as I say, I know the family personally and he's a good kid and he wants to do well at Chelsea. So I wish him all the best.
Brazilian forward João Pedro is earning growing praise for his performances, with many pundits now claiming the youngster is finally showing why he's considered one of the most exciting attacking talents in the league. Under manager Liam Rosenior, João Pedro's role has evolved significantly, and analysts say the tactical shift is unlocking the very best of the Brazilian. A different João Pedro. When João Pedro first arrived in English football, he was often seen as a raw but gifted forward, quick, technically skilled, but sometimes inconsistent in decision-making. However, under Rosenior's tactical structure, the Brazilian has developed into a far more complete attacking player. Rather than being used purely as a traditional striker, Rosenior has encouraged João Pedro to operate between the lines, drifting into pockets of space and linking play with midfield. This freedom has allowed him to combine creativity with his natural finishing ability. Tactical intelligence growing. One of the biggest improvements analysts highlight is João Pedro's positional awareness. Instead of staying high up the pitch, he now drops deeper to receive the ball, helping his side build attacks before driving forward into dangerous areas. This approach not only creates space for teammates but also makes him far harder for defenders to track. His ability to turn quickly, carry the ball through tight areas, and draw fouls has become a major asset for his team. Impact in the final third. Despite taking on more creative responsibilities, João Pedro's attacking numbers remain impressive. His movement inside the box and calm finishing continue to make him a constant threat to opposing defenses. Pundits believe the Brazilian is now combining flair with maturity, something that often separates promising young players from true top-level performers. Several analysts on English football broadcasts have even described him as the real deal, praising the way Rosenior has trusted him with more responsibility in the attacking structure. A player coming into his prime. At just 24 years old, João Pedro still has plenty of room to grow. But with his technical quality, intelligence on the ball, and growing confidence, many believe he could soon become one of the standout Brazilian attackers playing in England. If his development under Rosenior continues at the same pace, it may not be long before bigger clubs begin to take serious notice. For now, though, João Pedro is proving week after week that the hype surrounding him might just be fully justified. Football fire.